11-year-old me wrote a fanfiction about Light returning to the human world as a Shinigami to finish his legacy as Kidder, and I feel like you should hear me out on it. Now, it starts off kind of murky just because I based it off of the premise that Light Yagami and Misa Mande ended up having a child, which would have had to have been conceived some point during the end of the story around the time where Light was working his out. But this is also a plotline that was picked up for the Death Note live action version, so it's something that is not entirely impossible. Anyways, we all know what happened to Light during the final chapter of the story, so he's obviously not going to be there to raise him. And we know Misa's not going to be there either, as she ends up sadly unaliving herself 1 year after Light's passing. However, in this sequel story, Light's Legacy, we would see that Light and Misa's child is now an orphan living at Whammy's house, the same school that trains genius children to turn into the next elf. Around 13 years after the passing of Light, a Shinigami begins wandering through the Shinigami realm in order to talk to the youth to figure out what happened during his time in the human world. Upon hearing half the story, this Shinigami leaves abruptly to return to the human realm because he realizes that Ryuk is telling him his own memory. And the rest of the story basically unfolds as Light returning to the human world in order to drop his death note in front of Whammy's house to be picked up by his offspring, so that Light can essentially live through his son, this time acting as his own Shinigami in order to fulfill his full ideals as Kid.